Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Blast from the Past Reviews. This is episode 3. We are going over The Iron Giant, the 1999 animated classic from Brad Bird. I am Freeze Peach Gaming. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here in the chat, and a special thank you to my co-host, Megan.
Hey, everyone. We're about to watch a movie that makes me cry. And apparently Steven as well.
yes. Not even a joke. Yeah, I have to try very hard today during stream not to cry.
I actually forgot what a tearjerker it was.
It really
because I hadn't watched it in so long. And I sat down and was like, I forgot so much about this. And just, crying like a baby.
Yeah, those final 15, 20 minutes. Really like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so rough. Oh, didn't want to do that yet.
So rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because that movie was never that popular when it first came out. Like ever. And I think it's just been this slow growth of popularity. But it's unfortunate how little people still know about it.
Yeah, I remember loving it. I want to say I actually went and saw this in theaters. I loved it when I first saw it. And yeah, I remember not a lot of people talked about it, but I do remember that Cartoon Network was really big on putting this movie up. They would do movie marathons, especially during the summer. And I remember once a week they would play this for quite a few years. And that's how I saw it. Most of the times I've seen it was just, flip through channels and, oh, Iron Giant's on. I'm leaving that.
Yeah.
Plus, it was a big hit in the household because I lived with my mom and my grandmother at the time. And so it, Granny liked it because that was kind of the time when she grew up. I mean, she'd have been in her early 20s when this movie took place. But she remembers this time period, and she grew up in New England, so it held a bit of a special place in her heart.
Aww.
Oh, let's say hi to the chat. Hey, Heron Alexandria.
Hi, Heron.
Oh, and then Dr. Jester.
Oh, Dr. Jester.
Let me pee in that corner to mark my territory. Looks like we got a land war going on here in the chat. No, it's mine. And Godzillionaire. Thank you for joining us, Godzillionaire. Glad to see you here. Let's see. Heron, I was a kid the first time I watched this. I think most of us were, unless we have any old people in the chat. Let's see. The movie that started showcasing Vin Diesel's voice acting ability. Yeah. Certainly has more, more range in this one compared to, say, Groot, where, it's the same line over and over again.
For sure.
But, that does say something to voice actors to where they can actually show emotion and they can, convey a lot, even though they're not actually saying anything. They do it purely through tone. So I'd have to give them credit there for sure.
Yeah, actually. And they were going to do it like all digital, right? His voice or something. I think that's what I read.
For this movie?
Yeah. I think I read they were going to do it digital and then they went with a voice actor.
Okay. I think they did well with picking Vin Diesel for this one. Yeah, because he really was more known as just the action hero guy. Because I don't think Fast and Furious had come out yet at this time, 99. It would have just been. I don't even think Chronicles of Riddick had come out either. The only thing I can think of is Pitch Black. Let's see. Daniel Shimon. Hail Megan of the New Reviews, and hail Steven of Free Speech Gaming. Thank you, Daniel. And Spartan Flash Sentry.
Barton.
I remember the raccoon.
His
Yes.
mom. Small Time Republic.
I remember the raccoon. Yes. Small Time Republic. Yes, thank you. Voice acting is still acting. Yes, 100% agree. There is a
Mhm.
documentary out there. If you're a fan of voice actors, go watch this documentary called I Know That Voice. Excellent portrayal of voice acting and a lot of the people involved in it. I mean, they go into the history of voice acting all the way back into like Looney Tunes. And yes, that was a cattail going past just there. So definitely check out I Know That Voice. Also, it has an excellent line from Clancy Brown, the guy who does the voice of Mr. Krabs, and he was the Kurgan in Highlander, and he was also in what's the movie? The Space Marines killing bugs. Um, oh crap! Just flew right out of my head. Um, I'll remember eventually. But yeah, he has an excellent line in this documentary to where they're asking people how they prepare for, Starship Troopers. Thank you, Godzillionaire. Um, how people prepare their voice for when they're doing, they're going to do like a 4-hour set.
Mhm.
And everybody's like, oh, I use this special serum that's been used in stage acting for a long time, or I sing for 30 minutes before I go in. And Clancy Brown's just like, well, every day I go home, I smoke a couple of cigars, drink a bottle of whiskey, and smoke a pack of cigarettes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we got some more comments in here worth noting. Iron Giant is brilliant. Underrated gem. Yes, agree.
For sure.
Let's see. Prince of Egypt as well.
Oh yeah, the Prince of Egypt. Such good music.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Really?
I'm
Oh,
pretty sure I've never seen it.
it's actually quite a good animated film. It really is.
I might have to give that a watch then.
Yeah, do it.
Because that's one of the non-Disney ones, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I'll have to.
Do it. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Phil is here. Hi, Phil.
Oh, we got a Phil.
We have a
Yes.
Phil in the house.
Yes, I'm trying to catch up to the comments here. We'll get there. Okay, this was after Saving Private Ryan, but before Pitch Black. That's right, Saving Private Ryan. With the give this to my dad. It's got blood on it. Yes. Oh, and we have a Tommy. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective greeting humans.
Hello.
Yes, Tommy's a good buddy of mine. We do a lot of different streams together. Let's see. All right, trying to catch up in the chat. And there is a Phil. I surprisingly seen the Prince of Egypt. Finally, a
Phil.
movie that Megan's
Wow.
seen that I've seen. Yes, yes, one that you've seen that I haven't.
There we go. Hey, I found that Western that you said you hadn't seen. Wait, you hadn't seen that, had you?
I had not. I had not.
It was
Yes.
filmed in Canada.
Yeah, I was
I
seeing
hope
that.
you can find it because I'd love to review that. It's like a Western comedy,
Okay.
but filmed
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yes, yes, and I know you are partial to Canada.
Yes, yes, I am.
I
Oh,
actually have a lot of Canadian family.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I always had some reverence for the northern lands. Yeah, because you're actually from Canada, right?
Yes, yes. I was
Okay.
born in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's my grandfather was born on Red Lake up in Canada, and he talked funny. Let's see. Yes, Dr. Jester. I think we have learned how to bypass it. I'm hoping. We'll see. If the stream goes down, just post a bunch of F's in chat. We'll know what's going on, and we'll do like we have done. Let's see. I blame you, Godzillionaire, saying I blame Tommy and Vinny for G.I. Joe classified pre-orders put in last night. Okay, I don't know what that's about. I know Vinny, he's referencing Vinny Tartamella, creator of Shadow of the Kraken, indie comic. Good stuff. Let's see. Like the show Murdoch Mysteries. Never seen it.
Oh, I've heard of it. I feel like I've seen some of it, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He talked funny. Okay, so I'm not implying anything about Megan. My grandfather talked like actual funny, not like occasionally thrown in a boot or something like that.
He was probably like from like far eastern Canada, like
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to say they're north of like they're somewhere north of like Minnesota or Wisconsin or something.
Yeah.
North of that area.
Yep.
Yes, he talked like this, and I'm not exaggerating. This was actually his regular speaking voice. There was a hilarious video. Okay, sorry. There was a hilarious video of you remember the old handheld VHS recorders that recorded
Yep.
on the mini tapes that you had to put into the bigger tape and then into the VHS. Well, he had one of
Mhm.
those and he loved that thing. He'd taken anytime there was an event, he was taking that thing with him. But his brother showed up one time to come visit us while we were all living in Maryland, and it's snowing outside, and so it's Christmas, and he opens up the door, and it's his brother John, and he comes outside. He's, "Oh, hey there, John. Oh, hey there, Dave. How's it going? Oh, pretty good there, John. Come on in, get out the cold." Yes.
Yeah, I've pretty much lost my Canadian accent, and I knew I had when I went back to Canada, and I could hear the Canadian accent.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I can hear it. That means I don't have it anymore. It's gone.
It's just gone.
I'm all Texas now."
Yep. Yeah, I've had people tell me I've picked up like some Georgia isms with
Mhm.
that, and I'm like, I don't know if I really have like an accent for Georgia. I'd like to think not. I use some of the colloquialisms because some of them are just hilarious. Like
You don't sound super Southern to me.
yeah,
No, you
I
don't.
wouldn't think so. That's in fact, I was surprised to find out a lot of people down here do not have the accent. Like my brother-in-law has zero accent, born, raised, lived his whole life in Georgia. Rest of the family has an accent. He just doesn't. Don't know why.
Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe he has like Asperger's or something. um,
Ah.
but yes, I think we're all caught up with the actually yes,
Yes,
that was it.
Gunless.
Yes.
You know I'm talking about Daniel. Mhm. I love that movie. I haven't seen it forever.
Hmm.
Yep, that's what I'm telling Steven to go watch.
Yes, yes, I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. And I have a couple of other movies I've already pre-ordered for the future, so you know, they should definitely be here before we get to those episodes. But yes. All right. Oh, all right. I'll throw one more in there.
Yes, I am actually quite
Yes,
old,
that's
Phil. Thank you.
yeah. Thanks,
I'm older than
Phil.
I look.
Jeez,
Thanks.
don't you know you're not supposed to?
Uh,
All right. Well, I guess we should talk about the actual movie.
yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We'll be
So
here all
the
night.
Iron Giant. Yes. Let's see. Let me go ahead and there it goes. So, as you can see, Dr. Jester, I've got it mirrored. I gave it a slight
Oh,
tilt.
just a little fact. This
Yeah.
movie was released 23 years ago tomorrow.
What? Oh
Yeah,
man.
it was released
I
on August 6th,
oh man, I didn't even
23
plan that
years
or
ago.
anything.
Yeah. Isn't that
Pure
cool? I was like, oh
serendipity.
my goodness. Or like
Yeah.
just a day. Like, yeah, that's right. Just
Oh
found that out
man.
last night.
All right, and I'm gonna keep that in mind, and I'll check out Twitter, and if I see anyone posting like, "Oh yes, 23 years ago today," I'm just gonna reply with like, "Check this out. Here's a whole
Do it.
stream about it. Watch it, all of it. Watch it twice. Give it to your friends." All right. But yeah, I figured we'll just start off at the beginning because I think it's important to sort of cover the first few minutes of just about any movie.
Mhm.
Um, see the setup for it. So, did you have any overall thoughts before we got into it, or should we hop right in?
Um, not really. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, let's just pop right in and see how we go.
All right. Also have music playing over it. So if it's hard to hear some of the audio, that's because I threw just it's the same song put on repeat throughout the whole thing. We'll be skipping around, but yeah, I threw some music over it, so hopefully we don't get hit on the audio side either. So actually, right away, I did want to talk about this. Sputnik going past was a major fear in the late 50s when it was traveling around the planet. And I kind of think that this scene showing us Sputnik really sets up one of the many themes of this movie, but the theme that we get from the human side and the military side of everything that happens, of just fear of unknown and having a general fear of an enemy that's far away that you just don't understand. What are you doing, kitty? Sorry, I have to stop the cat from destroying my blinds. There you go.
It's actually really good that you talked about the fear of the unknown, because that is kind of the whole, I don't know what the word is I'm searching for, but like the Iron Giant himself is an unknown thing that people fear.
Yes.
And the boy understands this, and he's the one that tells him people aren't ready for you yet. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like the whole theme basically of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they give us this one little spot right here, just Sputnik. And one thing that I love that they do here that, is something we kind of have lost in a lot of newer films is they don't have to explain to you exactly what Sputnik is and what the purpose of it was and why everyone was afraid of it. They believe in the audience's intelligence to figure it out for
Mhm.
themselves. And I really think that follows out throughout just about all of this movie. There's very few things they just spell out for you unless it's important for them to do it at the time.
Yep.
Oh, hoping the song doesn't become an earworm. But don't be mad at Megan. I'm the one who did
It's
it.
my fault.
Oh, and Carrie Smith mentioned Iron Giant on
Yay!
FNT. Yes.
Also Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't know she was Canadian. I like Carrie Smith. She's good. She's
She's
funny.
Canadian?
Yeah, I
Carrie
guess
Smith is
guess
Canadian?
so.
I don't know. What? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, all good.
Politically correct.
So I just really like that image that we first see. It really is it's almost designed to instill fear of the creature. Mm. And yes, before he thought he was seeing the lighthouse, and now
I like
here.
that they did that, like, to almost even make the audience second guess what they saw too.
Hmm.
So you're kind of thinking along the same lines as the character.
Yeah, yeah. It's very easy to just be like, "Oh, storm, find the lighthouse."
Mhm.
That's your only saving grace. There's might be a bit of a allegory in there as well. Don't know if it was planned or not, but you think of the lighthouse as a saving grace, and the first thing we see being the giant confusing it for the lighthouse. And as we get to the end of the
Oh,
film, he does wind up
yes.
being the savior.
That's true. This movie is so good for all those little
Yes.
subtleties, to be honest.
It really is.
And it doesn't make it obvious, like, yo, everybody, you need to pick up on all these little things we're putting in here. Like, they're just there. And if you pick up on it, you do. And if you don't, whatever.
Hmm. And even stuff you can pick up later on. Like I, watched the movie just a few days ago to, get ready for all of this, and I just picked that up now. And that always seems like a something that makes for great film and television is if you can watch it multiple times and pick up on more things.
Yes. Yes. There's always something new.
Hmm. And I just love seeing the town in these opening shots. It reminds me of spending summers up in New England because there are still portions of like especially New Hampshire and Maine where I spent a lot of time as a kid that are still like this. I mean, they're a bit more modernized, of course, but very much small, quaint towns, fishing villages, and I just love seeing it. Kind of hits me with some nostalgia.
Over here, honey. This is such a great setup
Yes, it
for
really
like
is.
the relationship between the mother and the son. But then
Mm.
also, I really love how this just him going like you can tell this kid has a lot of freedom. And how old is he? Like what? Like 7 to 10 years old or something?
I'd say probably closer to maybe even 12, 11 or 12 because I'm
Right.
assuming he's part of the baby boom because his dad had fought in World War II.
That's right.
So I'm assuming he's a, legit boomer, not, you know, not like Gary of, Nerdrotic boomer, but so I'm
No, but like it just like that just freedom of kids just went and they were all day playing outside, riding their bikes. You weren't really like super worried about like his mom obviously left in the morning and he's fending for himself and then he comes and meets her at her work. Like there wasn't a lot of like checking in and texting me where you're going and it was just like come here for lunch.
mm,
I'll see you for dinner at home.
yeah,
That
like the latchkey kids.
yes.
Yeah. And that's another thing that, would remind me again of spending time in New England because that was the first time I was really left like alone to my own devices. Because my parents were not like super protective or anything, but like if I was going over to a friend's house and I would walk over there, but I had to call and like check in and let them know where I was. But when I
Mhm.
was like 7 years old, because this town we would stay in, it's pretty much just safe because it's very much like this. At 7 years old, they were fine with me walking around the town by myself. I knew how to get back to our little condo, and I
That's
knew
awesome.
it was only like one main street, so I wasn't going to go wandering around too far. Yeah. Yeah, the whole latchkey kid. And I think this whole sequence right here at the beginning sets up his relationship not just with his mother and how he's going to react with the giant or how she's going to react to everything and react to
Mhm.
finally meeting the giant, but also how we can see him getting to the point where he would want to befriend the giant because he takes in small animals regularly.
Yes.
So, mom remembers the raccoon. And our introduction to who may be one of the most important characters of the film.
He's also one of my
Dean.
favorites.
Yes, Dean is great. I also think this right here is just an excellent way to introduce Dean's character of him standing up for the kook.
Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of shows that he's gonna give people the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't really believe him, but he's still gonna give the kooky old man the benefit of the doubt. And same with dude, I just forgot the kid's name.
Hogarth.
Hogarth. Sorry. Same with Hogarth. Like, he just kind of goes along with what Hogarth says and does, and he's like never taken aback by it, just going with the flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even when like Hogarth shows up at the junkyard, he's not like, "What are you doing here, kid? Get out." It's all right, come on in.
Yeah.
It's middle of the night, and he's not like, "Oh, get in here and let me call your mom," or I'm gonna call the sheriff and have him take you home. Nothing like that.
No, I love it.
Yeah. And of course, Hogarth, the young kid, he's perfectly ready to believe what the guy said. He's still living in a world of imagination to where, 50-foot metal monster, yeah, totally believable. I know you saw it.
Mm-hmm. Which is why he's never shocked when he actually meets not super shocked when he meets the Iron Giant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he's immediately taken aback, but I mean we'll get to that, but he really does like jump into action like immediately.
Yep. Ah, thanks, Hellalore.
Yes, thank you.
His face. This next scene coming up is so funny.
Yes. And I think it really showcases like just how excellent this animation is. Like seeing like what we're just about to see right here.
It's so funny. Everybody, I'm sorry for what's about to happen. Oh my gosh.
That right there. I mean, just like that sequence of the squirrel running across all of the tables, and there's so much happening so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't skimp on any of it. I mean, the facial features of these minor characters that, especially if you watch like a television cartoon, they'll have their face in like one position and their lips will just flap. You don't have any of that in this. They're constantly like moving, and there's body language, and their faces are, it's kind of, it reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, because the animation in Beauty and the Beast is excellent for the same reasons.
Yep.
I think that's part of what makes this movie so timeless, is how much effort they put into it.
No, for sure.
All right. Might do a bit of skipping ahead here. I just wanted to get through that initial few minutes.
Met some of the main characters.
Yeah.
Small Time Republic says the beatnik guy looks kind of shifty. He looks shifty, but you just wait. You're going to really warm up to him.
Yes. I mean, he does look a bit shifty, Dean, as they said in that scene. But I think it's kind of hard to hear with the music here, but we're trying to circumvent some things.
Mhm.
But I think also Harry Connick Jr. with his voice acting of it, he has this, very brassy, sort of low, and I mean he's a singer, so he has this melodic voice that just it gives him so much character and so much feeling that he looks a bit shifty, but he sounds like a decent person. And yeah, as you see him throughout, you'll see he's a good guy. I mean, really, he's a great guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, Daniel Scheinman saying it's mirrored and still looks good. Shows how amazing the animation is. Yeah. Let's see. So yes, he's home alone, watching scary movies. I I tried this thing where you take the whipped cream and stuff the Twinkie full. It does not work like that.
What
It's
happened?
it just sort of it shot right out where I had squirted it in.
Ah.
It just kind of like shot back and yeah, just made a mess.
That's funny. Because aren't Twinkies like full of like cream?
Yeah,
Are they?
they have it's more of an icing
Okay,
inside of a Twinkie.
that's funny.
Yeah, have you never had a Twinkie?
No.
Okay, they're horrible for you, but they're sugar bombs. That's pretty much what they are. They're a mildly vanilla flavored sugar bomb.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Mhm.
Definitely. I'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. It depends on your diet and what you normally like to eat. Because I know, like after quitting drinking soda, for me, I've gone back and had like a Coke, and it's too sweet for me.
I'll take breaks from soda,
Mm.
and it'll like you come back to it, and it takes a while, and then after a couple sips over time, you're like, oh yeah, I could just chug one again. Yeah.
Oh, I can't chug them. I took like 2 years completely off of soda, and now once in a
Oh, that's
while
a
I'll have
long
like a
time.
Sprite. Like that's it.
No, for me, it's just been like a couple weeks to a couple months.
Hmm. Well, I found a seltzer water. That's like the great replacement for soda
Hmm.
for me because you still get a bite from it.
Yeah, and the fizzy. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and I love that he's watching the old 1950s, sci-fi horror flick because I like some of these movies. They're cheesy, they're low budget. I mean, especially if you talk like Plan 9 from Outer Space. Anything by Ed Wood. Let's see. Dr. Chester
Mm,
can't get rid of soda. I love soda, but like Megan, I can go a month or weeks. Yeah, soda's bad for you.
it's so bad.
It is.
No, it is.
Thank you, Heron of Alexandria. Love sparkling water. Yeah, for me, I got to make sure I don't get the stuff that has like a bunch of aspartame and like a crap load of ingredients. I just wanted to have like carbonated water and a bit of flavor. That's it. I don't want the sugary stuff.
Mm. I don't like aspartame. It leaves this weird aftertaste.
It does. It's not good.
Like, give me real sugar or nothing.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, Hogarth hopping up onto the roof, discovering that the antenna is broken. Oh, also, I did just want to show part of this because I love the effect of the flashlight, spanning across the ground, and just how it lights up certain
That's
areas.
like, see how that comes in and you get that blinding effect, like when someone shines a
Yeah,
flashlight in your face? And like this right here, like they did such a good job.
they really did. I'm actually curious to know how they did like that right there,
I know. Because
and
that's
then
literally how a real flashlight looks as you do that.
yeah, and then when we get into the woods, it's even more impressive.
I
But
love
yes,
how he gets himself all ready with his like
yeah,
BB gun or whatever.
yes, his BB gun that he tapes a flashlight to. So now if he does shoot anything out of the BB gun, it's gonna hit the flashlight.
Yeah.
It. I'm pretty sure this is his dad's helmet from the war and his dad's bomber jacket.
Mhm.
Which that also means I just thought about this. That would also mean because of like his age range, that his dad must have died after the war. Because
Oh, yeah.
if he had to have been born after the war,
Hmm.
unless
Maybe
maybe he's like 13, but just kind of small for his age. But I don't think so because he got pushed ahead a grade. So I don't know. Oh, and Heron of Alexandria. What do guinea pigs eat? Guinea pigs nibble toes. If you didn't know, that's what they eat is toes. Also, hail Paul Bosel.
Hi, Paul.
Yes, I hope I say your name right. But yes, off into the woods. Oh, that was. Yeah, the flashlight moving through the woods.
So good.
Just gorgeous animation. Oh, and that right there, closing, showing that tree stump. Yes, we'll be here all night if we're just talking about the animation. But meeting the giant.
Ooh, that's so good. Like, he's not there, and then he is.
Yes. Just hidden in the shadows.
It's interesting how in this very first introduction, he is very, very robotic at first, like very robotic, very like stiff movements. But as we go on through the movie, he becomes more humanistic. Like he gets more human-like traits and more personality. Because right here he's just this stiff robot thing doing robot stuff, but as we go on, he's like another human being almost.
Yeah, he learns a lot from Hogarth, like even just his body movements, because you sort of see that when they finally first get to have like a proper introduction in the woods later on, because he sits down and starts like mirroring Hogarth's movements, and it's very childlike because it's really mimicry.
Yes,
which is how we learn.
Yep, I love it.
Up and mom coming back home. That is such a mom reaction. Especially like the put upon single mom, having to do it all.
That was such a good transition.
Yes.
Like from the robot caught in the wires to like the whole city lights going out and then their lights going out.
Yes. Yeah, very quick, like 1, 2, 3.
Again, really great with the flashlight. I don't know.
Yes. And I love that he steals himself. He's ready to run away, then steals himself and rushes in to save this unknown creature. I mean, he could have let the giant die and end a movie.
Yep. The snapping sounds were so good too.
Yes. Yeah, just everything about this movie is so good. The sound, what is it? Sound effects, the animation, voice acting. Like you know this is just a team of excellent people giving it their all and trying to make the best possible, piece of art that they can.
Yeah. Oh. I love that happens when his back is turned.
Yes. He's very much taken by surprise. So this is one of the few things that I think is like a bit of a contrivance, is like, how did his mom know to look for him here?
Mm-hmm. Yes, now that you say it, I didn't even think of that, but like it's not like he left a note and was like, or like, does he go up there often to play? And I don't know.
Maybe he goes out into the woods a lot, and this is just it's a long, there's a service road,
I
easy
don't know.
place to drive to.
But you're right. That is, yeah.
It's
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense how she would know
yeah,
that, like he was there.
yeah. Maybe there's something from the book, because this was originally a book that came out in like 1968.
Mm.
But I believe the book and the movie are quite different from each other, so who knows? Might have just been they needed an easy reason for the mom to be there, and just kind of move forward. Oh, all right. Hail the lore. Moms know, just trust me. That's true. That is true.
Oh, Garth, I was so
Now he's all just like super excited about everything.
Yes.
He's over being scared. This is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to him.
You know what? If I was his age and that happened to me, yeah, that would be the coolest thing ever.
And his mom's like, oh god.
Oh yeah, she's been working all day. She had a late night. Probably had to stay longer because of the squirrel.
And you know that he's a kind of kid who's got this really active imagination. Like from her reactions to him and his stories, like she's not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, Hogarth, just not tonight, all right? Tell me about it tomorrow. Let's see. There has to be a story there. Nope, not telling. All right. Might do a bit of skipping ahead here. Oh, I do really love
this part. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Because this goes into the whole fear thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously we know now, and I think most people knew even then, they just don't want to admit it. Like this film, of the kids and the people getting under the table and covering their head, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how you survive an atomic bomb, It's like,
yeah.
We all know that wouldn't work, and near the end of the movie, they're saying it wouldn't work, but it's that whole, what was I saying? Those safety measures that give a false sense of hope.
Yes.
Like, I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you really can't do anything, if you make people believe that they can do something, you get that false sense of hope and security. You can keep the masses from panicking. That's kind of what this video is, essentially.
Yes. I 100% agree. Yeah, it's just, duck and cover. Don't freak out, because at any time... Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's see if I can find that still of the...
And I mean, all the kids are
that.
They're under the table.
Yes. Everything else completely destroyed.
But this wooden table, you're fine because you ducked and covered.
Yes.
Oh man.
Get under the desk. That won't make a difference.
And all the it's like this. It's kind of scary, but it has happy music, and all the kids are just like talking in the background. They don't care.
Oh, and that's very 1950s for something like that. They life was just a little bit cheaper back in the day. Like you see old videos of like the Italian, like the Vespas and stuff like that, and they show a whole family on a single Vespa. They got like a husband, wife, and a kid sitting in the husband's lap while they're on the scooter, and they're flying, or they're going down the mountain. No one's wearing helmets. There's no
Mhm.
seatbelt. It's just you're living life to your fullest while you can.
Yep.
Oh, there's a big bite taken out of it.
And like nobody, like these old men, they're all just there, like, well, it's got a bite out of it. Alrighty. Here you go. We're gonna go back to the farm. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's panicking, really. It's almost like, no, but why is no one questioning the bite? I don't understand.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I mean, these old guys have probably seen some stuff, because I mean, you got to think they were probably in World War One,
yeah.
so they're probably just like, yeah, I've seen some weird stuff. There's just a big bite taken out of my tractor, and that sucks. Those things are expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is a bit more of a skip ahead moment. Oh, we do have to see the
yeah.
introduction to Kent Mansley.
Oh my gosh. He's one of those characters. As soon as
Yes.
you meet him, you hate him.
You really do.
Like immediately, like, ugh, there's the bad guy.
Yep. Yeah, and he's almost like unequivocally evil, but
Mhm.
right away we just see him as this, smug, pretentious, paranoid, it inflated self of, inflated sense of self and self-entitled. He's just a dick.
Yep. 100%. And he's like the big city dude is looking down on all these like small town people like they're a bunch of hicks and not worth his time. Yeah.
It's natural in Europe to see bites taken out of tractors, is it now, Aaron? That's okay.
I need to know more.
Yeah. There must be some sort of conspiracy built all around that. There has to be. I mean, if people believe that birds aren't real and the earth is flat, if there's bites missing out of tractors, there's a whole society for that.
It just shows his badge. Like he's the most important person ever. But
Oh,
here's
yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. He was the dude that was sent to the small town, not a big deal type of episode.
Hmm.
Like, he's pretending he's like top dude, but he's bottom of the totem pole. Otherwise, like,
Oh, yeah.
he's totally bottom of the totem pole. And this is the only place where he can pretend that he's more than he is.
Hmm.
Because when he goes back to Washington or whatever, like he's
Oh, yeah.
he's
No
everybody's
respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. They intentionally gave him this little department so that
Mhm.
they could just shove him off into a broom closet and completely forget about him. And once in a while, when something weird happens, it's all right, Mansley, go check it out.
Yeah. Very self-important. Oh my goodness.
Hmm. I do think, especially as we get into the film, though, he really does help to embody a lot of, one of the other themes of this film, which is, overreaching government.
Yes. The eye roll he does.
Yes.
The slitty eyes, like, oh, I can't wait to get out of here. These people.
Oh yeah, this is really the how self-important I am moment.
Yep.
He's the kind of guy that would have a wall in his house that's just pictures of how important he is and any mildly cool thing he's done.
Mm-hmm.
As some people like to call it, the I love me wall.
What? What? There's a lot of people I don't like. Small Town Republic. I look all cute and innocent, but and this is the moment where like it's affecting him, so he's like, "Oh, it's real! Oh crap! Oh my god! It's like affected my personal life now. Now it's a big deal."
Let's see, called G-Man, slang for FBI. Yes.
Oh, is that? I did not
Yep.
know.
Yeah, I think it's just short for like government man.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That makes sense.
like that. Yeah. Yeah, G-Man short is slang for FBI. Which he's not even FBI. They didn't even want him.
No.
Here we have
Putting up a little trap.
Yep. Trying to hunt the giant down. Oh, and then he does finally see him running away. Of course, he can't get away from the giant. Oh, all right. We got to watch this part.
Yes, it's so cute. He's just curious. Looks like a little kid, you know, when they stop and they're looking at a bug and they're like, wow.
Yes, I was just thinking that. That's exactly what it's like. Oh, and here we have the mimicry.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and then that moment right there where the giant recognizes that he was saved by the kid.
Yes, and that's like the only way he can communicate at this point. So cute. Groupie man.
Groupie man.
I
don't know. I might have to look into that. I like knowing random trivia of like what G-Man actually stands for, the etymology of that term.
He's already starting to get more personality, like less and less robotic, more personality.
Yeah, and it's not even that he's like remembering either. It's him learning from his surroundings. Okay, so G-Man does mean government man. Thank you, Heron.
Blah blah blah. Super like unintelligible.
Yeah.
Like a baby.
It's almost like training an animal also.
Yeah. And he's like, I got a new pet. Oh
yes. The coolest pet ever. Might do a bit more skipping ahead because we're only 20 minutes in so far.
Oh my gosh.
I'll say this actually isn't that long of a movie. It's I thought it was going to be longer, but it's only like 86 minutes, including credits.
Which is great because they pack so much in to 86 minutes. It's like the perfect amount of time. But you don't feel like you're missing anything from the story.
Yeah, there's no fat on this movie. It's very, very tightly compact, very well written, edited down. Because I know there's because this is the original version. I know that there's what they call the signature edition, which I did not get. that actually has like 2 scenes added to it. So I know
Yes.
there's
Heard about
deleted scenes that they took off. They could have made the movie longer. They just chose not to.
that. Trying to make him understand.
hmm You stay, I go.
He's just
Which,
following him like a dog. Like you just fed a dog. You've been feeding this dog, and they're like, "Okay, I'm gonna go with you." And you're like, "No, you can't." But they're like,
yep.
"No, I'm coming with you because you're the person with the food. I'm coming." He's like,
hmm
"Oh,
Yep. No, you're the only thing I know. You're the only person who I can communicate with.
yep."
Yes, the old animated movies are lean, mean entertainment machines. Definitely. This isn't even that old of an animated movie. This is
I know
only
it was like 1999 or something.
yeah, 23 tomorrow.
It's crazy because a lot of animated movies nowadays they can't even stand up to this one.
They really can't. There's such a reliance on CGI that because even like cartoons these days, they're all done on computers.
Hmm.
And I mean they make them look pretty good, but there's something you get. There's like an added layer there of something that's hand created, these hand painted backgrounds. This
Hmm.
character was actually drawn over and over again in different positions to create the animation. There's just something that is added to it, kind of like practical effects in a film instead of
Yeah,
CGI.
yeah.
Oh, and of course the train scene.
Snack time.
hmm
The panic.
Yes. All right, put this here, put this here. And of course, he has to be a perfectionist because he doesn't know any better.
Hmm. They really do a great job of like building the suspense here, and then you're like, "Holy crap!" Here's the
Yeah.
funny thing. I was like, he could. I feel like he should have done more damage to the train than the train did to him.
hmm
I honestly feel like that, but they wanted to give us some angst or something, you know.
Yeah, and they also have to set up how the giant can reassemble himself
Yes.
for, much later on in the movie.
Yes. It's funny because, like, not only is the boy surprised that he can do that, but the giant seems surprised that he can do this too.
Yes. Which, that also sets up later on in the film when he starts, unlocking other abilities
Hmm.
that, he's learning about himself as we're learning about him. And
Yep.
it's I mean, it's not quite the same as just learning something because he has it's kind of like figuring out something that's instinctual.
Oh,
Oh, Tommy's got to leave. Well,
bye,
thanks, Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. I'm sure I'll see you around in some stream sooner or later, probably sooner. Have a good one, Tommy. Let's see. I think this is more of just Kent trying to formulate a plan.
Hmm.
Yeah, having hiding the giant in the barn, which I'm sure is something he's done with other pets.
Yes, totally.
Oh, hang on. Got to do the prayer scene.
Oh, this one was so funny.
It's so funny. It's so good.
Ah. He's like, oh. His body part. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
His mom's like, what?
And it's also great because you have stop. You have like 2 conversations at once going on of him trying to be convincing to his mom while talking to the giant,
Yes,
or at least the hand.
the hand of the giant.
Yes.
Stop the devil. Get out of here.
Sing.
I forgot to wash my hands. He does not seem one of those kids that really cares about forgetting to wash his hands.
Oh, I'm sure he isn't. He picks up random animals and brings them back to the house.
And this part is so funny because the hand, it's like a dog. Like he's just leading a dog right now.
Yeah. Like this is probably something else he's had to do with animals he's snuck into the house in the past.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
this
part. And this must happen a lot to his mom.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, oh, there we go.
Yeah, oh, this again. Yeah, of course. This is she didn't even look surprised. She just got up and took care of it. See. He caught the Holy Ghost. I'm from the government. Oh, crap. He just leers at her all the way up. Oh, yeah. Oh, and this is how you definitely know that they don't take him seriously in Washington.
And then he's totally bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
Because he's totally begging here, you know, and the general's like, oh.
It's show me a picture, you know, show me something, give me a footprint. Being mocked by the oven mitt. See, that's how sad he really is, that he gets mocked by an oven mitt.
Like,
just
he's triggered by it and he has to turn it around.
Yes. The top 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, look at him. He's like chewing his fingernails.
He's doing the...
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, it's Giant Metal Man. It's... Yes. And you know what? That oven mitt turn, that's another one of those small little things that didn't need to be there, and it says so much in this short little moment.
Freezing. Are we frozen? Did I freeze? Uh-oh. You're frozen, Steven.
Oh, am I back? I'm back on my end.
You're back. You're back. Am I back? Was I gone? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, like everything. I could hear you, but I just started getting like little spinning dots
on
the screen. Yeah.
Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good again.
All right. Yeah, my signal is showing that it's all good.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, there was a helicopter flying over. They're listening in. They crossed the wires. Okay, so you were still there. It was just me.
Okay.
You get me a photograph of this thing, and I could probably have some troops over there. But
He just hangs up on you.
And you know, this is something that you can't do anymore. You no longer have the ability to slam the receiver down into the cradle. That was such a good feeling when you were having an argument with someone on the phone and I got to slam it in there. Now it's, well, screw you. Doesn't have the effect.
You can't throw your phone because you're going to crack the screen. So, you know.
Right. And these things are so expensive. Heck, I paid more for my phone than I did my computer, which is sad.
Oh.
Yeah. Granted, I don't do like the yearly update on phones either. That's way too much. I use the phone until it's pretty much no longer working. Like before this one, I had an iPhone. This is an iPhone 10. I had the iPhone 6, and yes, I know I use iPhones before.
I know, me too.
Yeah, before half the chat. No, they're gonna turn on both of us now.
Uh-huh.
Small Time Republic got an old dial phone. Yes, yes. We have them at work, so I still get to, I still do the
Whoa,
pickup
really?
at work. Yep. Well,
Crazy.
it's almost impossible to find, like, even just a wireless receiver landline phone that has a multi-call function on it. So, we're a
Oh,
business. We have to have like 3 lines there.
that
It's
makes
just
sense.
hard to come across. Oh, and yes, also twisting the wire. Interesting combo. Ginger plus blue eyes have a prediction for live action Netflix version. But yeah, we know what it would be. Yes, with the Netflix ginger side.
He's like, okay, I'm the cool man again.
Yep. Hogarth, why don't you just name him Zeppo?
But he finally puts it together.
All right, gonna skip ahead just a little bit
Ugh.
to the bathroom scene.
This part was funny too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have any deep analysis for this moment, but it's just so funny.
It's just funny. And he like follows her through her house. Like,
Yeah.
it's behind him. This is why you should really chew your food.
Your food, yeah. The look from the mom right there, like, really?
And then she actually goes in. And it's so
Slamming his face at the door, all of it.
And he has he's quick enough to think, I gotta pretend I'm actually having issues on the toilet right now
Yep.
to hide this moment. Like, how many times has he had to come up with a story so fast, Hogarth?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like all of the animals he's had to hide.
Yes.
Yes.
He's good at coming up fast with a story or a cover for himself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, which is probably why his mom didn't believe him at the power station.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, okay, another tall tale. And yes, Heron, he is such a creeper.
He's got these leery eyes.
He does. And
They almost look lidless, or he doesn't have
Mhm.
lashes. I don't know. There's something about them that's just creepy.
Yeah. And I also think the voice actor they got for him, who I can't remember his name, but he played the a-hole golfer in Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was just great for this role too. He's just so good at being smug.
Mm-hmm. Really good at making you hate him.
Yes. Oh, and then this scene
I
is actually
love this scene.
Yes, and I think it's actually really important for setting up the one of my favorite themes of the movie, because there's multiple themes going on here, but this really sets up the you are who you choose to be
Yes.
theme of the film, to where we'll watch it, showing him this is Superman. Also, that comic has to be worth so much money these days.
And I love it because the Iron Giant doesn't know who he is or what he is or have any personality. So this is the moment where he gets to think about who he could be. And this is also the moment where they start doing stuff with his eyes. And like in this scene that makes him seem like he actually has feelings and thoughts and like more human like eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it right here. The mechanical lids are kind of turned in a
Like
little bit.
after like
Yeah.
from this scene onwards, they do so much with the minimal facial features that the giant has to make you really feel what he's feeling and understand.
Yeah. And they really do. They do a lot with such little that he
Mhm.
has there. Yeah. Yeah, that squint right there.
Tomo. I looked this up to see if it was actually a real comic and I couldn't find anything.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's probably just riffing off of, you had the giant robot movies back in the
Mhm.
day. But it's also, naturally he is a Tomo. That's
Yeah.
who in his instinctually who he is, but throughout the film he chooses to be Superman.
Mhm. Aw.
Oh, and he's hungry. And more with the lights. I didn't even notice that before.
I
The
didn't
the
either.
lighting.
This is like their first bonding moment.
Yes. Yeah,
Like their
getting to
first
travel.
real bonding moment.
hmm Yeah, sitting down and it's kind of like when you hang out with, you meet like a friend's kid, or you see, a cousin or nephew or something you haven't seen in a long time, and they're now, old enough to be like, oh, here's my comic book collection. And that's always a good bonding moment.
Mhm.
I know I got that with my sister. This was years back, but I had been away for probably like 5 years. I hadn't seen her, and she was, I think, 11 at the time. And yeah, she was like showing me all of her drawings and everything, and she's an excellent artist now. But yeah,
Wow.
yeah, she was showing me all of like her drawings, and I mean, at like 11, she was a better artist than I am now, and like I still try. Like I
Yeah.
paint a little bit. I'm not good at it, but I try. But she's way better than me, and even then she was. Yeah, I might do a bit of skipping ahead here. But yeah, them traveling together.
Mhm.
Oh, and this is also important. I think you had mentioned this earlier about the people just aren't ready for you.
Yes. Just that fear of the unknown.
hmm
He's like so excited, like, ooh, more people like you. Like, look at him.
Yes.
He's like a little kid, like, yeah.
Yeah. Almost steps on the cow.
Aw.
Yep, and right at the edge of town, he stops.
Like they make him look there like so sad in the robot's eyes. You can see that he's like a little dejected, like, oh.
hmm Yeah, it's telling a kid, no, you can't do this thing that you think is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. It's not gonna have the outcome that you want. Oh yes.
hmm Oh,
That's why we
Moda.
haven't gotten like nothing's happened to us yet. It's
Yeah,
working. It's
it's.
working.
I did also stretch it out, so it's gonna look a little bit wider than the original. I gave it a 50% stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So the edges of the screen are unfortunately cut off a little bit, but if you watched it on an old 4:3 TV back in the day, in the standard definition, the same thing would have happened.
It's true.
Oh, I did want to mention the name of the town is Rockwell, Maine, which is specifically chosen because this is supposed to be a picturesque town in the style of Norman Rockwell, the painter.
Oh.
Yeah, because he did the very,
Not pick up on that.
Americana family-esque paintings. And so this is supposed to be essentially the town that Rockwell would have been painting.
Gotcha.
Here, I'll take that now. Yeah, you can really see it. Oh, and even his body language there. Head hung low,
Yeah.
looks back.
His shoulders are like drooping.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this part is kind of funny too.
It really is. Also, it does set up, he wants to eat the car,
Mm-hmm.
but in comes Dean.
Again, he looks so sad at this part.
He's like, no, he's taking it away. And I mean, that was quick thinking, but could have gotten behind the giant.
I know, right? Because the kid was telling him, hide, and he's like hiding in plain sight.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it. And also, I'm pretty sure this is a sign for the diner where his mom works.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But we also get the setup for McCoppin's scrap, Dean's scrapyard. Oh, and immediately he's, kid in a candy store. Oh, got to bring it back just a little bit. Got to see that part.
Oh, yeah.
It's
the horn won't stop blaring, and he just throws it.
Shucks it.
This is like, here we go with Dean. He invites him in for coffee.
Yeah. I mean, it was a much different time. It was a lot less sketchy for an adult to be like, yeah, come on in, have some coffee.
I love it because Dean becomes like a father figure in a way for Hogarth.
Yeah, he really does sort of step into that role of Hogarth doesn't have his dad anymore. And he's really just imparting like normal wisdom to him. But it's the kind of stuff that, no matter how hard his mom is trying to fill both roles, she won't be able to be the masculine presence for him. And we get a bit of a look at Dean's disheveled life here, too. And I'm trying to remember, but I think that's the one that, they're kind of closing in on that piece of art. I think that's the one that Hogarth's mom says that she likes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, she like sighs. Yeah.
Oh.
Got milk or milk?
I was gonna have some coffee. He's like, I'm hip. He's trying so hard to be cool.
Yes.
You can tell poor Hogarth is actually not the cool kid, but he's trying out the cool kid terminology right now.
Yes, and I related to that especially when I was a kid and this movie came out, because I was like, I would have been almost 9 when this movie came out. This was like, I mean, if it came out yesterday, 23 years ago, it would have been 2 months before my 9th birthday, and that was very much me as a kid. I would try to be cool, but I was not. I was weird and awkward, and I would have said something like, "Hey, man, I'm hip."
Oh man. Oh, Heron of Alexandria.
Gotta head out. See you later. Yes, bye, Heron. Thanks for stopping by once again.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, always glad to have you here. Be sure to watch it. Watch the rest of it later on. Just so you know, you are at the hour and 20 mark to make that easy for you in the future. But thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And we got some more buys for you. Hail the lore and what was it? I think thought there was a comment. Yes, Hail the Lore had said yes, movies back then had morals in them.
Mhm.
yes, that's what makes stories good in general. That sometimes we still get these days, but often it's just look at this bright shiny thing that's going to distract you and turn your brain off for 2 hours. But once in a while, you still get a good one. In fact, one that came out recently that I highly recommend that has a good moral lesson throughout is The Terminal List on Amazon. Just
Hmm.
a 8-episode show starring Chris Pratt, which normally he's the goofy guy. He's more of an action, military thriller in this. But yes, I do suggest Terminal List. Man, I really like it when a movie doesn't assume the audience is stupid and can't pick up small clues. Refreshing. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yes. This movie does such a good job of that.
Mm-hmm. Up in Godzillionaire. Movies had morals, not the message, as the drinker would say. But I love this part too. Just yeah, give a kid espresso.
He's all hopped up on it, and he's like, was he complaining about school and his mom? And like,
Yep.
Dean's like, oh yeah.
And they put me ahead of grade, but that's only because I do the stupid homework and everyone else did the stupid homework. They'd be pushed ahead of grade too.
More espresso? Oh no, you don't need any more.
And then this line right here coming up, it's really like for me, it's one of the most important lines in the whole movie. Who cares what the other people think? You are who you choose to be.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's the prevailing moral lesson for this movie, and it's just deep and profound, and it's your actions dictate who you are, and you have to choose the moral outlook you want to have in life, and you have to put that out into the world. Don't let other people define you. Oh yes, the moral of the Terminal List: don't F with Navy. I don't care. Don't fuck with Navy SEALs. This isn't for kids anyway. I already marked it as a not for kids stream, so we're good. Yes, that's kind of the moral of the Terminal List. Yes, that's one of them. Probably the prevailing one. Yes.
I have to see that now.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It has a fun show. Definitely it shows that like Amazon has like two sides of what's going on right now, because you see like Wheel of Time, which I haven't read, but according to everyone I know who's read the books, it's really that show is very much full of the message. It's one of the more woke shows. Or like what we see is going to be happening with
Rings of Power.
Thank you, Rings of Power. And then on the other side, we see things like Reacher coming out, which Reacher was a little bit more surface level, in my opinion, but it was enjoyable, and it was still, a gung-ho, pro-America, pro-military kind of thing. And then, Terminal List, which is also very much not quite as... It shows both sides of the military, the good side coming from just the boots on the ground kind of guys, and then the bad side that you see from people in the military who sort of fail upwards. They'll get promoted into positions of power to keep them from screwing up other jobs.
Yep.
Also, welcome back, Phil. Yes, still live. Oh, and reminds me of Talladega Nights. We're all hopped up on Mountain Dew. I actually watched that movie on a projector being projected onto the side of an RV at Talladega for a NASCAR race.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, one of like 2 NASCAR races I've been to. But yes, you are who you choose to be. Mm-hmm.
So funny because like Dean gets all protective, and then the robot gets protective because he thinks Dean is like hurting him.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes.
Oh, yeah, it
Yes.
especially. Let's see. I think they show it again. Yeah, yeah. I didn't think of that
Just with
before.
his eyes, because there's nothing else on his face that you can move to show expression.
Mm-hmm.
All they have is his eyes.
Yeah.
Give him expression, and they do such a good job of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. The Dean's protecting the kid. The Giants Dean's protecting the kid from the Giants protecting the kid from Dean. Yeah. Oh, and also Daniel Scheinman really captured the James Dean expressions with Dean. I also hadn't made that connection either. Yeah.
He's like, oh,
Dean. Oh, and he does the same thing as in the bar, the Dean. And then now he's the one with the shaky hands. Yeah, he convinces Dean to let the Giants stay the night.
I love this
then-
part. He's been out all night. His mom's like, "Oh, you're awake."
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And of course, downstairs,
Who do we
Kent
have?
Mansley.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh yeah, renting the room. But of course, he has an ulterior motive. It's only because he knows that the kid has something to do.
Oh, I love when Dean wakes up and opens the door and he's like forgotten.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh,
oh, it's
there it
you.
is.
Oh. And he's like so excited to see him.
It's like a new puppy dog that you forgot
Yeah.
was out all night, and you open the door, and he's still happy to see you.
Uh-huh. He's like there. It's so funny. This whole the whole scene of what's the dude's name?
Kent.
Kent. I don't know if it was this scene or coming up where he's just like, "Hey, Scout. Hey, buddy. Hey." Like he's
Yeah.
the most. I'm struggling with my words, but like those adults that like think they're so good with kids and like think they can make friends with kids really well and whatever, and you're like, no, you're not relatable at all. And he's like calling him buddies and scout and dude and everything else, and the kid's like, yeah, no.
Will do, Daniel. I'll just stick with Dan or Daniel. And look, don't feel bad. I've got a weird Polish last name that has like silent letters, so people butcher mine all the time too. I know it's just something you get used to. But yes, definitely, it's the
Oh, condescending, that's the word.
yeah, just hey sport, hey scout. It's like you realize I'm not 3, right?
All these little names are not gonna make me like you. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is. Yep, and then Dean with the giant, this art junk.
And I like because like they're kind of like establishing a relationship between the two of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Hogarth and the giant. It's like Dean and the giant and Hogarth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, making them into sort of a trio.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Your first name is no joke. Well, yeah, I mean Hale. That's not that hard of a name, you know.
Your real name, Hillelore?
Yeah.
Is that why you don't use it on here?
Yeah, it's in fact like some of my other videos where like I have my last name on there. I use a pseudonym just because my real last name is confusing. And I don't feel like explaining to people constantly, like, no, there's a silent letter in there, and that's not how it's properly pronounced. If you go to Poland, it's going to be pronounced differently, but, you know, it's bad enough as is. I'll just say loudspeakers in school were a problem. A lot of times it'd be, Stephen, well, yeah, that's me.
I know that's me. Okay.
Yeah. But yes, I do also love the coming up here soon, the arts and crafts scene.
Like, oh, that's
It's
good.
not bad. Not bad. Oh, and also this scene.
So funny.
Yes. But I think this is also, another one of the messages about the movie of, what Kent is saying throughout this scene. This scene is very much the, fear of the unknown and why we need to have, strong government and overreaching broad government power to deal with, certain crises, and especially during the Cold War time, because this is really ramping up of the Cold War.
Mm-hmm. I also love that Kent thinks he's finally connected with the kid. He's about to get information. Nogar's like, oh, I got plans for you, dude.
Yes, the Choco-Lax. This is where they mentioned Sputnik. But yes, we don't know where he's from, who made him. We have to destroy him.
He's loses it. He's no longer cool and got it together.
And it's also setting up the, ends justify the means attitude that he has of,
Yep.
we have to kill and destroy and in order to make everyone else afraid of us so that you can be nice and safe in your home.
And then it hits him.
Okay, I had one of those moments on stream. This was like months ago. I'm on a stream with Shellback, one of the Monday streams we do, and like all of a sudden it hit me. It's like, oh no, I need to go to the bathroom like right now, and it's just the two of us in here. There's not like three other people to pick up the slack or anything.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh crap, I'll be right back. I gotta go. And I like ran off. I just had my icon up for it, but yeah, I had to run off to the bathroom. So I identify with that moment a little bit. It was oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I even heard him when I was just like, sorry, I gotta run. I'll be right back. He's just okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he gives him the slip. Oh, and arts and crafts.
It's like he's making like a what's that called? You hang it over a baby's bed, the little mobile, yeah. That's what he's making, but it's a giant one with cars.
Yes. And it's something that would take him, months to put together on his own, even with a crane.
This part is great though.
Yes.
It just turns him into like a carnival ride.
Yeah. And then he starts passing out. We're landing. We're landing.
You're like, holy crap.
More mimicry, yes.
Dean's all like, can y'all just leave, please?
Yeah. More bites taken out of stuff.
More bathroom breaks.
And Kent finding the camera.
I love this part. So funny.
Yes. All right, we gotta watch it. Which I'm sure being from Canada, but like even in the summertime up north,
it's so cold.
That water is cold. Water is cold. Like even for a lake, like where I stay up in New Hampshire, middle of summer, we go in July. The water's still like 40 degrees.
It gets a little better by like August. You got to get it at the right time because then it starts to cool down again by like, September.
So you get like a 1 to 2 month period where it's nice.
Yep. And then, nope.
And you got to do what he did. You have to commit and jump straight in. There's no putting your big toe in and slowly adjusting. Yep. That's worse than jumping in.
You gotta go all in.
Yeah, even the ocean is just it's freezing up there. I went into the Atlantic and off of Maine one time. It's and
Ooh.
yeah, even that was cold. Let's see. It's been 104 here in the past 2 months. The water is not cold here. Yeah, the water's not cold where I am either. We get that kind of temperatures as well. But do you have the humidity, Godzillionaire? Because I can tell you, the hot does suck either way. But like we have 104 with 100% humidity, and it's awful. It's like you walk outside and you just feel it hit you.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I lived in North Carolina for a bit. It was gross.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing here in Georgia. It's just hot and humid. And it's like that for most of the year.
Yuck.
Oh, but yes, the bonsai.
He looks like he's just like, nah.
You big baby.
Dean is just like, what's happening? Oh, okay. In front of his newspaper, it says, oh, yeah, not yet, but like,
Let's see.
as the tsunami wave goes up, we'll see his newspaper.
Okay. Let's see. The front.
Disaster. Disaster scene as catastrophe looms.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, so yeah, the disaster at the power plant, and I'm assuming catastrophe looms are talking about the Cold War. Threat of mutual assured destruction.
But as the water's gonna wash over him, they zoom in on it like catastrophe looms, and the wave hits.
Oh yes. So it's a bit of foreshadowing within the scene.
I love it. Like, shut up.
Yep, start swimming with the wave.
He's like covering the newspaper, like that's gonna help.
Yes.
Disaster.
That is really good. Just catastrophe looms. There's the raccoon.
Dean. This part is so funny.
That water level is wrecked.
You know, you're in the middle of the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dean's like, I think we've had enough fun for one day.
Yeah. Oh, and Kent developing the pictures. Finds the one of the giant. Oh, this scene. Gotta watch it. Because this scene is where we really get to see that the giant, he isn't just mimicking, he really has empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a beautiful shot.
Yes.
Also sort of mimicking, what's it, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Oh yeah.
God reaching out and putting life into Adam.
Yes, I didn't even think of that.
But that really is just a gorgeous shot right there with the with the hand reaching forward. I want a poster of that. That's something I'm gonna look out for.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
And now we have
He's like a kid, like his first
Mhm.
experience with death.
Yeah. And he doesn't understand why he shouldn't do that.
Aw.
And we get just a small taste of the potential wrath, the potential destruction within the giant there. You know, Hogarth sort of acts as his conscience,
Yep.
and pulls him right back.
Aw.
And then we get another wonderful scene, and something that just, even in like Disney movies, they wouldn't go to this to have an actual discussion about life and death.
Because like Disney movies show a lot of death, but they never like talk about it or explain it. It's just this traumatic experience that you never get closure on. Whereas here we've had this like traumatic experience and moment, and you're getting some closure in a way.
Yeah, and and we also get a peek into, Hogarth being a bit wise beyond his years for the age that he is, having dealt with death because, his dad's not around. So we can just assume his dad didn't just leave to get milk and not come back, where he's probably dead. And so he would have a bit more understanding about something like this than, most 12-year-olds.
And this scene is kind of like the giant is going to bed. It's like, the end of the day, like with your parents, they put you to bed, and that's like oftentimes when you have those deep discussions happen, and that's kind of what's happening here. Like he's putting the giant to bed, and they're having this deep discussion about life, about what happened today. It's funny, he's like kind of got this parental role to the giant.
Yeah, like Dean stepping into a fatherly role for Hogarth, while Hogarth is stepping into parental role for the giant at the same time. Yeah. And also, Hogarth is honest to him throughout all of this. Are you gonna die one day? Yeah. Once again, the eyes.
Yes. And they've kind of gotten like they're a blue light now. It's not a yellow light.
Yeah.
It's a blue light, which is weird because he's in this kind of sad, thoughtful moment. So like the color of his eyes are now starting to change with his moods too, which is interesting.
Yeah, when he was angry, they turned red, and he sort of got tunnel vision going there, and yeah, the softer blue. See, when people do that. Oh yeah. Yeah, going out for milk. I'm thinking that's what the comment was. So if Hogarth grew up in the Xbox COD era, the world would have been destroyed, right? Yes. Yes, that is true. Oh, and the discussion of a soul. He has feelings. He thinks for himself, which means the giant has a soul. Yeah. Good night, buddy.
I love that last line he leaves him with: "Souls don't die."
Yeah.
Like you can see the giant. Like this is right here where he's really contemplating that. Like souls don't die.
Yeah, which all of that. It's trying to conceptualize it. It's definitely something that Hogarth would have been told by his mom. When his dad would have gone. And it really would be something to think about for the giant. Would he actually have a soul? Is he actually a living creature? Because he's clearly manufactured. He's not born as normal people would be. So it kind of jumps into sort of the standard cyberpunk question of where does humanity end and machine begin?
Yeah.
Oh, and this scene, just Kent wielding his governmental power like a cudgel.
The whole lights and everything.
Yeah.
Interrogation.
Yep, putting him off balance with the questioning.
Disappearing out the darkness.
And the closed fist on the table.
Proof.
And that's all he needs for the army to show up. And I mean, this is showing just how far Kent is willing to go. I mean, he's grabbing a kid by the face. This is a kid, but he doesn't care about that. He cares about, making his name, finally, being able to bag an actual prize and not just being sent out to some, podunk town to find nothing, essentially. Somebody probably thought they hear ghosts. They sent out Kent, and he finds out they have raccoons in their attic.
Ken just wants to play with the big boys.
Yeah.
Like,
he just wants to be taken seriously. Which
the
he never
fact
will.
that he has to assert his power like over a kid, like that just shows his true personality and character.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, he really pulls some of the most egregious acts in the last part of this movie. Oh, and to get Hogarth to give up the location of the giant, he has to, say that he's going to make the government believe that his mom's an unfit mother, and they're gonna, send people in and take him away from her. So he has to threaten Hogarth's very, life, his life with his mom and his family. And I mean, that's just even more egregious. And then chloroforms the kid. I mean, this guy will do anything.
Yep. I love their little standoff coming up, though.
Yes.
So funny.
Yes.
He's locked him in his room. He's nailed the window shut.
And watching him all night.
What's really funny, though, is that this moment.
Oh, yes.
He's like, oh, he's still there. Like, how long has he been up? Like, how long has this kid? Was he faking falling asleep? Like, what did he do to get past this guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he lulled him into a false sense of security, and he even spent hours doing this. And this has got to be something he's done before. Set up the pillows and everything so that mom opens the door. It's okay. He's in the house. He's not running around the woods at night. Why is the military in our front yard?
Oh my gosh. And Dean's reaction.
Yeah.
Most people would be like panicking. And Dean's obviously expecting this. And he's like, all right, here comes the army. I'm drinking my coffee as the military rolls up.
And he really plays into the whole beatnik thing here. You know, the just off-kilter artist.
Uh-huh. What?
Oh.
The middleman, yeah, come on. Everybody's confusing the general, like, oh,
Yep.
let's give this up? What's happening?
This better be good.
He doesn't care at all.
Yep.
He's like going on about, he's got this great backstory.
Yeah.
About the giant.
Give me some time to cut the umbilical, you know?
This is my art. It came from my soul. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Yeah.
Kent's like checking his watch.
How long do I have to deal with this hippie? Well, this would be pre-hippie.
Yes. Look, everyone. I love it. Everybody's like, wow, this is a heap of junk.
Yep.
Step out.
Oh, and getting chewed out.
Uh-huh. And the kid's like, yeah. I love that the mom is the only one who's actually suspicious. Because she sees Dean's art and she looks at the giant and she's like, she mentioned something about it just being kind of slapped together.
Yeah.
Why do you have all these random pieces on top? Like, she's the only one that realized that a lot of those pieces don't belong.
Well, the military men and the government mindset, it's just simple answers, simple explanation, move on to the next thing.
And besides, like, the general wasn't really believing him before.
Yeah.
But he kind of was like 50-50, so he came, and yeah. That disbelief was proven to him.
Yep. He was probably looking for a reason to disbelieve.
Yeah, she's like comparing it to his other art.
Oh, you like that piece? Oh, and she just touches it while she's walking away. Just gives it a slight stroke to have a slightly closer connection to him, to actually reach out and feel his art that, you know, he's poured his time and energy and soul into. Yeah, she likes Dean. It's clear.
He's so angry. That private sitting next to him is like, holy crap.
Yeah,
but also I'm really glad that's not me.
Yep. Oh, and the mom here too, just pulling the fast one on him. Well, I know I see why he sneaks away here at night. Oh, you know about that? I do now. Yeah, Mama's savvy. Might skip ahead a bit here. Oh yeah, the gun scene. Where we finally get to...
I love this because they're like two kids playing, arguing about who gets to be what character.
Yeah.
And the kid like wants the giant to be the bad guy, you know, so he can shoot him. The giant's like, no, I'm Superman. I'm a good guy. Okay, fine, you can be the good guy.
Yeah.
Like, they're just two kids pretending, arguing about who gets to be what character, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's so innocent.
Yeah, you'll be the good guy. I'm gonna shoot you anyway. I don't care. I'll be the bad guy. I want to be the one with a gun.
Ugh.
And then Dean fast into the action.
He just totally they did a good job of showing him like come to, like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, and this right here where he's just taken aback. And once again, the eyes and the rest of the body language, the no, don't, why.
Like, he just doesn't understand what happened.
And now I'm wanting to watch The Iron Giant. I blame Megan just cause.
Whatever, Phil. Go watch it, Phil. It's a good one. You still need to watch Princess Bride. P.S.
You do. Watch Princess Bride. That's a must do. But Iron Giant also great. I mean, you've seen this one before, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we see the giant realizing.
Aw, he looks like a little kid or a little puppy dog that's like being scolded, and he just he doesn't fully understand what he did wrong at that point.
Yeah, it's like that first time your parents really yell at you because you did something wrong, and you don't understand. It's like, I thought I was being cute.
In this moment, the weather changes too.
Yeah, it starts snowing.
Dean starts to show just how savvy he is. When two together.
Yep, it's all defensive and even helps Hogarth to catch up to him. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead just a bit here. So we see the giant save the two kids.
And then the townspeople are starting to accept him. And in that moment, he's like the good guy.
Yeah, they're of course they're confused at first, but they're just sort of in awe of the moment. And the dad's just happy that the kids were saved. Up and Kent having to take them back. Also, Kent isn't driving his own car anymore. This is two cars that he's had destroyed. This one belongs to the mayor. He just wrecked the mayor's car.
Kent does not have good luck with vehicles.
He does not. Just as the town's really beginning to accept him. Got the military. Oh, and this scene right here, once again, just how far Kent will go.
Yes, because Dean's like, it's defensive. He's doing it and he protected the kid, whatever. Or is this the part where he's telling him he has a kid with him?
Yeah, this is he tells him both of those. Like he's reacting, it's defensive, and the kid's with him. And then Kent turns around to the general and just, he's killed a kid.
Attack.
Yep. They send out the planes. Oh, gotta watch this part. Yep, giant falls off the cliff.
You can fly? You can fly? You can fly!
This is such a cool scene. Coming up past the mom.
And of course, putting your arm straight ahead wouldn't really do anything, but he's Superman.
The planes.
Oh, and this part, he has to fight back against his nature, his instincts to be offensive and not just defensive.
He's got this like awareness of self now. He's not just like reacting like a machine or something or an animal. He's got awareness of self and choices.
Yeah, because he's already given the line of, I am not a gun.
Yes.
Yeah. And, and even though that would probably be the most effective way to keep Hogarth safe, he could just destroy the planes and then Hogarth's safe and, they keep flying on. But Hogarth, acting as his conscience and giving him the moral lessons throughout, has told him, it's bad to kill, it's not bad to die. Okay, I just have to say it's a movie thing. It's totally cool because that was a really sweet turnaround scene right there. But that snapback of G-forces would have killed the kid. There's no way to keep him safe and to go from 700 miles an hour this way to 700 miles an hour that way.
No way.
Oh yes, and here we go. The last 15 minutes. Yes. Prepare yourself, everyone. I have my tissue ready. Really, my nose was itching, and I didn't want to, be too abrupt with it on camera. I'm sticking to that excuse.
He protects Hogarth.
Yes. And of course, the military just thinks that, okay, job's done now.
You think he's killed him?
More with the eyes and the body language. And then this moment right here, I mean, Hogarth throughout has been acting as his conscience, and now that's removed. And not only is the giant giving into his wrath, like he wants to.
Yeah. Like revenge.
Yes. And the dent in his head pops out, so everything's back now. He probably has maybe not full recall or full remembrance, but a lot gets unlocked in this moment, and it's just the only thing that was guiding him in this world and teaching him to try and be a good machine or good person, that's been taken away from him by the heavy-handed military and their quick and decisive actions. Shoot first, ask questions later, deal with the fallout. Yes, don't make him angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. Yes.
Whoa. The thing just disappears.
Yeah. Oh, and this part, it goes like full War of the Worlds with it.
Yep. Like he turns into like this very alien creature.
Yeah. Definitely has more of the 50s, atomic age, robot monster movies look to it. Like you could see that thing fighting Godzilla.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's okay. Let's get him in the car.
And I do like how Dean his initial concern is let's help Hogarth. Like there's all of this other destruction going on. There's a lot, but we can't do anything about it. Let's take care of Hogarth. So, he's gotten close to him over these, past however long it's been, probably just a few days.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of stepping into that dad role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony Stark testing out his strength. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Fighting Godzilla, he'd lose against my cousin, says Godzillionaire. Yeah, I agree. Godzilla would win. It would be a tough fight, though. That would be a tough one, but Godzilla always prevails. Oh, and that scene right there, Kent had so much bravado. But then as soon as the tables turn and someone's shooting back,
he's like panicking.
Yes. I just always really liked this thing right here with the little mandibles coming down and shooting out the little sparks or whatever they are.
His face. That's when he suggests the bomb.
The bomb, yes. And around this time would have been when they were testing out the hydrogen bomb. I don't think it would have been in use yet. That would have been early 60s. Oh, God. Yeah, back then in the animation, they showed violence. Yeah. I will say with this, they do a little bit of the, they don't show any blood. Kind of like why they used lightsabers in Star Wars, because they didn't have to show blood, and then they could give it the PG rating. But yeah, it is still quite violent. You know that people were dying in there. That tank that got disappeared, somebody had to have been operating it.
Yeah. It wasn't just the two guys on top,
Yeah. And a remake of Iron Giant would be in some crappy CalArts style animation. Yeah, CalArts has become the prevailing style now, and I'm with you, Godzillionaire. I do not like it. There's a couple of shows that I think still work well with it. Mostly Gravity Falls. That was a good one. But I think the writing is what's strongest about Gravity Falls. Yeah.
Oh.
Stop the car. Oh, my God, honey, you're all that. We gotta help.
Stop the car.
You're lucky to be alive. We're taking you to a hospital.
And he's gone. Oof. Let me bring up this comment from Daniel. I thought there was a video game in the first PlayStation era. Sadly, no, but I have seen Iron Giant in the multiverses. That's something. What you might be thinking of, it was the PlayStation 2 game. What was it? Attack of the Monsters. I want to say that's it. Let's see. There was a PS2 game that was very much like that, where it was, giant monsters. The War of the Monsters. That's it. Yeah, it's you have giant robots and King Kong and Godzilla and stuff like that. So that might be what you're talking about, Daniel. Let me pull this back up. There we go.
This is General Romer. Ready to
Mm.
So I do like how right there we can even see on the general's face, and as we see, after this very important scene right here, that even the general won't go as far as Kent. Like
Yeah.
he's not going to put the kid in danger, even if it's just one kid. He's going to call off the strike. But this scene,
That was such a that scene where they're facing off, kind of that last frame. That's wow.
yeah.
Aww.
Oh, and the shock of what he's done. And this is really like the fulcrum moment of choose who you want to be. And Hogarth is putting everything on the line for to give the giant a chance to come back. Even after all of the death and destruction, he knows that the giant is still good within.
Nautilus to Rogard. Missile armed and ready. What do you say? He's friendly?
Yes, attacking him is triggering a defense mechanism.
Listen, General, destroy the monster while we still have the chance.
General, you shoot now, the whole thing starts all over again.
Stop it now, General. Our future's at stake. Order, sir.
Which is why you have got to stop, General.
Let's get it closer. Order.
This is sort of an angel and the devil on the shoulder moment for the general.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got
doing his one in either ear.
Yep. Yeah, Kent telling him to shoot, and Dean telling him everything's going to start all over again.
Hold your fire. Boys alive? It's a trick. Launch the missile. Are you?
It's a trick.
Stand down.
Okay.
Yeah, how is it a trick exactly? Oh,
The way he
and that
looked
look.
at him, that glare.
And then Kent making that single move, just pure reaction. He wasn't thinking. That was action without thought. Launch the missile.
It's targeted to the giant. Where's the giant, Mansley?
Where's the giant with everybody else?
Duck and cover.
Duck and cover. I love that part. You're going to die for your country.
Yep. And stop. Oh, and the defiance of the giant right there, arms on the
hands on his hips.
Yes.
And everybody knows there's nothing they can do.
Yeah. They're just resigned to their fate. And in that moment, just everything that's brought him to this point, everything that the Giants learned, in a mere moment, he can make the decision to, sacrifice himself and save everyone else. One second.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty, it's dinner. I got a sleepy kitty that wife's trying to get to wake up and go eat her food. Go, kitty. It's food time. She'll make up her mind eventually. Let's see. But also everyone's, they're all coming together and just, holding each other and being close to each other for the last time that they can.
You are who you chose to be.
Sweet grooming.
Man, chills. I got chills.
Yeah.
I didn't cry on camera, though. I did good.
I didn't either.
We did good. No crying on camera.
No crying on camera.
Godzillionaire, I'm not crying. I'm allergic to cats. It's just so powerful. So powerful in that moment, and the way he closes his eyes and just lets his head back, and it
He looks,
almost has a small smile. He's almost proud of the sacrifice he's making.
he's just resigned himself to his fate. He's made his choice. He makes his final
Mhm.
choice.
Yep, he's going to allow himself, it's not bad. It's bad to kill, it's not bad to die. So, he's dying to save others, to save an entire town of people. And even the military, people who were ready to kill him and shoot at him and almost killed Hogarth. Even those people, he was willing to die to save all of them. And there's and then this shot right here. The star fading in the sky. So my personal theory on this, that this is allegorical to the giant's time on Earth. This shining, remnant of the bomb going off. He came in with a bang. He made some really strong bonds and some really strong companionships in his short time here on Earth, and now he's fading away quickly. Yeah, this is an animated movie, by the way, people. So powerful, more meaningful than most things today. Yeah. I mean, even animated movies that followed this it's tough to really reach this mark still. Oh, and once again, the light with the eyes. The star fades away into the giant's eye. Well, the statue of the giant. Yes, the candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Nice quote from Blade Runner there. Which, as you see the poster behind me, one day we will be getting to Blade Runner.
Oh, that means I need to get on that one.
Oh yeah, that's one of my all-time favorites. Is Blade Runner. Daniel said, by the way, checked out the first edition cover art of the I, Robot by Isaac Asimov from 1950. Such an eerie cover, but might be inspired. The character artist for the Iron Giant designs. Very well could be. I know the robot series from Asimov was, I mean, even back then was very popular. And I imagine the guy who wrote this, because the book came out in 1968, so the guy who wrote the book was probably inspired by that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, mom's got a new boyfriend.
Aww. Hogarth has real friends.
Yeah. Well, he stopped worrying about how they were defining him and defined himself through his actions, and yeah, now he has friends. Because even kids like authenticity.
Mm-hmm. It was almost like that tiny little screw like said goodbye to him.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it turned around and did this little bow and then just dropped out the window.
Yeah, kind of waved by.
Like the very last piece of the giant saying goodbye to him.
Mm-hmm.
I never caught that before, which is funny because like he interacted with the hand like it was a separate, it was just a part of the giant, but like it almost had its own, when all the pieces of the giant are separate, they each have their own personality or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally missed that with this screw.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that either. In fact, let me back it up just a little bit. Yeah, right there. Yeah, tapping on the window.
It's like it looks like him.
Yeah.
It's so subtle.
That is. Oh, that's really good. Oh man, yeah. Just saying goodbye, or even a so long for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See you later. And then we have to get our happy ending.
Where did it say it was? Iceland or something?
Iceland or Greenland? Yeah, Iceland.
Mm.
Angjökull Glacier in Iceland. There's another letter at the front of it I couldn't read.
Like he smiles.
Yes.
It made him smile. He lifted up his jaw and he smiled.
Yes. Oh, such a. It really hits you with the sad then happy roller coaster on that.
Yes, it does.
Such an excellent movie.
Ugh. I'm so glad I own it now because I never actually owned
Yes.
it.
I did before. Well, my mom bought it on DVD years ago, so I had it for a while. But yeah, now I have it again. Oh, so good. Oh, hey, kitty. I gotta help her cat now. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and read any of my notes now that we're done with the film, kitty. But yeah. Oof.
It is so funny to me that that was like originally intended to be like a musical.
Really?
Yes, so it was intended to be a musical with songs by Peter Townsend
Uh-huh.
from The Who, right? And I
I
what
did
is
watch that
that
music
name?
video you sent. I
Yes, which was like,
Yeah.
whoa, it was so
Okay.
weird.
So
And
that
they,
was actually supposed to be this movie.
mhm,
Oh.
and they did like an album, Iron Man the Musical, with
Mhm.
11 songs by Townsend, and then it featuring Townsend as Hogarth.
Hmm.
Um, it was like a stop motion animated video for that song, "Friend of a Friend," right?
Mhm.
The video I sent you, and then there was a stage version sort of it, and
Mhm.
then somebody said it should be made into a movie, and Warner Brothers
Mm.
picked it up, and when Brad Bird came on, he changed everything and made it what we see.
Huh. Here, I'm about to pop it into the chat. So,
Kinda crazy, like, so crazy, because it would've been something completely different, completely different.
yeah. Yeah, see, I just thought that it was just like a music video or like a couple of songs, like a concept album that Townsend had done based off of the book. Because there's a lot of very similar imagery in it. Not
Mhm.
just the look of the giant, but like you see the tractor in there that has the bite taken out of it. A lot of similar imagery, but very
Yeah,
different in tone. Very different in
very
tone.
different. So this story has been a lot of things that led to this movie. It went on
Mhm.
quite a journey
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, because I'm sure once Brad Bird got a hold of it, it did change quite a bit. Because as Daniel's saying here, next review sometime could be The Incredibles. Yes, the Incredibles I'm sure will be happening as well at some point. Because that's another excellent one from the same creator, Brad Bird.
Mhm.
Yeah, but what are your overall thoughts on this movie?
It always it always stands out to me how the growth of the character of the robot, like that part has always stood out to me. How he goes from, like I said, that very robotic, kind of jerky, stilted character with basically no personality, kind of animalistic, childlike, and his growth. It's almost like watching a human grow up.
Hmm.
I don't know. It gets me every time. It's
Hmm.
President
Yeah,
Cry.
me too. Me too. I helped back. I think I got it out earlier this week. That's
Oh my
yeah, yeah.
goodness.
It is. It's very much the a full grown toddler, an overgrown toddler. Hmm. Then by the end, he comes into more of a, he grows through adolescence, and then in the end has to make an adult decision.
Yes.
Hmm. Let's see, this was still in the coked out days of Hollywood. Want to make a musical about a giant alien robots? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, I always think about like the Cold War itself with this
Mm,
movie. That's what it makes me think of, the idea of, mutually assured destruction, and how the giant is sort of allegorical for the A bomb itself. He's used to stop one in the end, but he himself is allegorical for that, because the our atomic arsenal was not just for offensive use. We also had it for defensive uses because it was the idea of mutually assured destruction that, Russia had this huge nuclear arsenal and we had this huge nuclear arsenal. And if anybody, we had itchy fingers sitting over buttons. And if anybody launched, it could be the, complete destruction of the world as we know it. People in the middle would still survive, but Russia would be gone, US would be gone, economies would be completely destroyed, and the world would change in an instant. And everyone was living under this fear. And the giant sort of represents that, not in, he's offensive, he's defensive, he's a shield for Hogarth. And at the same time, everyone is initially afraid of him, but eventually they realize, it's sort of a, the giant is good. The nuclear arsenals were not good. Having missiles pointed at each other. But I think it's in a way sort of allegorical for that in and of itself.
Oh.
But did you have any thoughts on like what this movie sort of means to like you personally?
No, I feel like it's so funny because like I probably watched it like it was probably a good 7 to 10 years ago until I watched it like this past week. And it's funny how different it is. Like watching it as a kid, I didn't think all of these things or make all these connections or anything. But as you go back and watch something again, you see a lot more in it. Like I missed a lot as a kid. I don't know what I was thinking, where my mind was. But as a kid, I missed a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a kids movie that's made for adults.
Like as a kid, you're just really entertained by it. You're like, oh, it'd be so cool to have a robot best friend and like whatever. And that's kind of mostly what I got from it.
Yeah.
As a kid. And then as an adult, I'm like, wow, there's so much in this movie. Holy crap. It takes you on a journey and makes you feel things and makes you think about things and makes you wonder and question. And it's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is a journey. Like even in the the hero's journey sense, even you're going through a lot of the same stages there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, Daniel had a nice bit of trivia. Brad Bird was inspired to make it as a memorial to his sister Susan, who died at the hands of her husband by a gun. The pitch was, what if a gun had a soul and didn't want to be a gun? That's yeah, that's it's one of those things of really deep pain can inspire really meaningful and really moving art.
That's probably what I mean. Every single person who worked on this, especially Brad Bird himself, obviously found something in this that gave them a sense of purpose for telling this story. And people having that sense of deep purpose and need to tell a story, really, you don't know it as an audience member, but that makes it, I don't know, it makes it more real. It makes it more raw, and you don't really know why. You're like, man, that was such a good movie for all these different reasons, but it affects you very deeply because these people that were working on it were so committed for their own personal, very deep reasons.
Yeah, it gives you an emotional connection to the creators. Hadn't watched it since I was about 7. I'm 26 now. Yeah, well, glad you got to watch it with us, Phil. I mean, a lot of pausing and talking and skipping around. But yeah, I did actually write a little thing down here that so my sort of overall thoughts on the film itself and what I think the prevailing moral lesson, or as I like to say, the peek into the human condition here. If you out in the audience, if you check down in the description of this, at the bottom, there's an additional link that I added to it, which goes to a video by Sean Malone of the Foundation for Economic Education from his series Out of Frame. One of my all-time favorite YouTube creators has his Out of Frame series is excellent. I suggest you watch all of it, but this will give you a nice introduction to it, especially if you like this movie, which, judging from our audience's reaction here, everyone loves this movie because it's that good. But he does an excellent video, pertaining to this film and his feelings about it. And I was sort of inspired by what he had said for my sort of little spiel I have here. So I'll just read it off. So it's, the prevailing message of you are who you choose to be. And not only should you not allow others to define you, but you should not allow your own unchecked emotions to define who you are. Choose who you wish to be and ensure that your actions reflect that idealized self. Fear and hate are easy emotions to feel because they do not require any forethought and often are absent of afterthought. Fear of that which we do not understand and hatred for an enemy that we do not truly know. Love and compassion are difficult because they take time and effort, and the restitution for your own love and compassion is never guaranteed and should not be expected. So choose who you want to be, Superman or Atomo.
I can't even top that.
I spent a bit of time on it.
I can tell.
it's I like trying to get
It's
into
true,
that.
though.
Yeah, it's that touch of the human condition and that strong moral lesson that we can learn from this movie.
Well, and I mean, I think we've said this before, but what is often missing in a lot of movies nowadays is that truthful exploration of the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of older movies that we go back to constantly again and again, the underlying theme of them all is the human condition, like you said, and the truthfully exploring it and going deep into it and facing it. And I feel like a lot of movies nowadays, in their story, they don't go that deep because nowadays we're kind of afraid to face the truth in ourselves, and it's easier to just hide that.
And truth is also constantly changing. The certain people, for whatever reason they have, usually for some form of control over others, over control of thought and control of other people's behavior, will change what is true to suit their own needs. And I mean, much to one of the other themes of this, it's typically coming from some very heavy-handed branch of the government who's trying to set their own agenda into motion with very little care for the people that it's affecting.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. But yeah, and especially modern day Hollywood, but even Hollywood for a long time, modern day Hollywood especially, is essentially just the propaganda arm of our government, which is becoming more and more global and trying to prevail to global themes. It's kind of rare that we have, like we did back in the day, we would have a lot of movies that were much more American in their own sense. You had American bravado, you had patriotism within the film. I mean, the only movie I can think of over the past 5 years that's really done that was Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
Yep. Yeah, because even the Marvel movies are, they had it for a little while. I'll say stuff like Endgame and the like. But even then it was, we needed to bring the whole globe together to fight this one threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and just, but for a cartoon, I was able to sit down and think about it and come up with that thought. And I can't get that out of, $500 million budget Hollywood movies these days.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be learned there. There's no thought-provoking questions that you're left with.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of emptiness. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say, even though I did like the movie, I think even Top Gun Maverick sort of fell into that a little bit of there's some moral lessons in there, but
Mhm.
nothing super deep. Certainly not as deep as the original Top Gun
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Yeah. So even with that, though, it was a fun movie and I enjoyed it, and it was well written, and you had good character growth and all of the other parts of the formula to make a good movie. We still need that strong moral lesson, and that's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because they're speaking to a crowd that I have differing morals from, but I don't see them anymore.
No.
Yeah. Oh, we've had the happy sad roller coaster on this.
We have.
Yes, but it
It's
was a
been a
good
lot.
time. Yeah.
3 times now this week.
Yes.
With
Yes.
every movie, it's 3 times.
Yes. Mm. Well,
Well,
did you have anything else you wanted to add to this? Because I think we're coming close to wrapping up here.
I don't think I have anything else, no. But yes, unbelievably it was.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was a flop. A lot of movies out there that have become, so it's essentially a cult classic. A lot of excellent movies that were
Like A
flops.
Knight's Tale. That
A
was
Knight's Tale was a flop to
yeah.
become a cult classic. Princess Bride was a flop. Princess Bride lost money
Mm,
until it hit VHS. I think this like barely broke even, but still wasn't good.
yeah, no.
Right behind me, Blade Runner, that was a flop. Yeah, and all of these movies have really stood the test of time. Oh wow, that was a huge flop. Budget was 70 million and only made 23. Wow, man.
I think a lot of it I read they they didn't do a lot of like advertising promotion.
Mhm.
Um Usually there's a lot of promotion, you work with a lot of restaurants and they have all the toys and the kids meals and like the whole bit,
Oh yeah.
right? And they didn't really do that with this one.
Mm.
I
This
did.
was also the same year that Star Wars Episode 1 came out, and it would have been tough to compete with that because I mean, heck, Star Wars. I remember in '99 they were putting little Star Wars stickers on everything. Bananas were advertising for Star Wars. It would be Dole bananas with a Star Wars sticker on it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Hi.
Welcome back,
We're still
Heron.
here.
Yep, we're just getting toward wrapping up though, Heron. Uh, yeah, man, that is one heck of a flop. But also, now I realize with inflation, $70 million then is much different than $70 million now. But for as good of as good of the quality of this film is, being able to do all of that on $70 million is frankly impressive.
Yeah.
Although I do hope that it managed to make back the rest of the money and hopefully a profit from, DVD sales and VHS sales and TV spots.
Mm,
Maybe that's why they showed it on Cartoon Network so much because it had flopped so hard they were ready to take $50 to show it on Cartoon Network.
true.
You remember the Iron Giant toys? I don't remember any Iron
I
Giant
don't
toys.
either. Now I
bet
really
they
want
were
to
cool,
find
though.
some. I bet those are kind
Yeah.
of rare.
Yeah.
Actually.
I bet they
Those
were cool
are.
though.
I kind of want to find some now.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Well, I think it's
I'm
about time to.
sorry.
Yeah. Yep. It's about time to wrap it up.
This is when Megan turns into a pumpkin.
Yeah. And I actually need a
Sarah,
snack.
you had a toy. She had an Iron Giant toy. What did you do
Man.
with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
Why
you
past
find
tense
it?
had?
Oh no.
You don't keep all of your toys to one day put onto a shelf. I actually have a couple of buckets around here of old toys that I've been slowly getting rid of. Although I do still have, oh no, they got knocked on the floor. I do have some of my original Star Wars toys. I got a C-3PO and an R2-D2 from '77. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were my mom's when she was a kid. They're not worth anything. They got sandboxed, essentially. They she played with them, and then I played with them.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah. It changed into the. Oh, that's
that
cool.
is
So it's like a
so cool.
transformer, but it turned into like a gun. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Oh man, I never had the Transformers toys. I had the Beast Wars toys. That was a bit more my generation. Uh, Beast Wars was a really bad CGI version of Transformers, but they turned into animals. It was animal robots. Like instead of Optimus
Oh.
Prime, it was Optimus Primal, and he turned into an ape.
I think I remember seeing those toys now that you're talking about. Yep. Okay.
The show was not good. The toys were awesome. Oh, it turned into his attack mode. Oh, that's cool.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on eBay now and see what I can find.
Right? Oh, you had the Beast Wars toys too. I did not play the PlayStation 1 game, although I did have a PS1 during those times. I was starting to get into RPGs then. That was more Final Fantasy 8, 9, all that stuff. All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming in and joining us for this movie.
I'm staying and
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Want to thank Heron, Phil, Daniel, Hail the Lore. Paul was in here for a while. Got Zillionaire, Tommy. Yeah, thanks everybody. But yeah, I think that's it for tonight. Next week, what are we doing next week?
Oh yes, Dead Poet Society. So
Mhm.
we're gonna get a little deep and stuff into the drama.
Yes, yes. I think it is about time we get into a serious drama. We kind of had a transition with this. It's this was, still a bit lighthearted, but hits heavy at the end. But yeah, I think it's time we get into a serious, deep drama, and that's a good one to go for.
I love it. I haven't seen
Yes,
that one in a while too, so I gotta watch it.
me neither. I've probably only seen it once or twice, throughout my life. But I remember it being a really good, really deep film.
Yes, yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Bye, Heron.
Yes, bye, Heron.
Morning
Oh,
for Daniel.
yes. Yes, but thank you everyone for coming by. Also, Small Time Republic. Thank you for sticking with us. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Yeah.
Yes, and you got to take the book and just. Well, I was gonna drop it, but there's a cat there now. I don't want to drop it on the cat. She might kill me in my sleep, and she's able to. Yeah, she's like 17 pounds. She's a fatty. She can do it. And Dr. Jester also. Thank you for sticking with us.
See you Sunday.
Yes. But all right, everybody. I hope all of you have a wonderful week and a great weekend. I'm looking forward to a good one. Hope everyone does the same. And yeah, yes, Jester. She is a fat cat.
Oh wow. That means she's extra cuddly.
She is to me. She's super sweet to me. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. I had a great time. Wonderful movie. It was great talking about this one. Think it's going to be another good one next week. So be sure to come back for that.
Yes.
Same
Dead
bat
Poet
time.
Society.
Yes. Same bat channel. 8:30 Friday. Who needs to watch Friday Night Tights? Come join us.
Or just skip out early from Friday Night Tights.
Yeah.
Fine. The goodbyes take as long as the hellos. So
They really do. Yeah. You still get like a good 4 hours if they start on time.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, and we do know you'll be here, Heron. We really appreciate you coming by and sticking with us. All right, everybody. I think it's that time. Oh yeah, I have an outro to do.
You
That's
do.
right. Yeah. All right.
See
Bye,
y'all.
everyone.
No. He's looking at you, kid.
Goodbye, Boo.
Kitty.
Kitty has to go.
I'll see you. Not if I see you first.
Hello.
Grandpa? Maybe you could come over and read it again to me tomorrow.
As you wish.